The link between money and a tangible asset started to weaken. Money was becoming a concept, a system of trust, and, importantly, a system of debt. Because every new receipt issued was a loan, creating a debt that had to be repaid with interest. Do you see where this is going? The very act of creating money now simultaneously created debt. The system grew and evolved over centuries. Governments and central banks adopted these principles on a massive scale. They could fund their projects, their administrations, and yes, their wars by creating money and going into debt. Think about it. Waging a large-scale war is incredibly expensive. You need to pay soldiers, build weapons, and manage logistics. Instead of taxing the population into oblivion, oh wait, they do that too, which could cause a revolt if the majority was self-aware of this scam, but it became easier to borrow. Who did they borrow from? From powerful banking institutions, or by simply printing more money? This debt would then be passed on to future generations. Now, let's fast forward to the 20th century, specifically to 1971. This is a date many people don't know, but is arguably one of the most important in modern economic history. For a long time, the US dollar had been tied to gold. Other countries held US dollars with the confidence that they could, at any time, exchange them for a fixed amount of gold from the United States. This was known as the Bretton Woods system. But in 1971, President Nixon announced that the US would no longer redeem its dollars for gold. In an instant, the entire world of the financial system was untethered from any physical asset. From that day forward, all major world currencies became fiat currencies. The word fiat comes from Latin, meaning let it be done by decree. Fiat money has value simply because the government says it does, and because we all agree to accept it as a medium of exchange. There's no gold in a vault somewhere backing it up. Remember that stock paper you couldn't eat while turns. Out that is a live birth certificate and is a bond that has been sold on the US stock market. Yes, you heard me right. Now we know who and what is backing our currency. We are the livestock to the elite bankers, or are we? Its value is based purely on trust and faith in the stability of the government that issues it. This gave governments and central banks almost unlimited power to create money. The printing presses, or their digital equivalents, could run freely. And with this power came the ability to create truly astronomical levels of debt. So when we ask, who do we owe trillions of dollars to? The answer is complex. We owe it to a web of entities, to central banks that created the money, to private investors who buy government bonds, to other countries, and even to our own future selves through pension funds. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. To pay off old debt, new debt is created, often with interest. The system inherently requires constant growth. The economy must always expand to generate enough new wealth to pay back the interest on all the existing debt. When that growth falters, the system teeters on the brink of collapse, as we saw in 2008. This is the system we live in. A system where money is created as debt, where its value is based on the people backing the system literally, and where endless growth is a mathematical necessity. It fuels a mind enslavement machine, and it also leads to cycles of endless wars, pain, and mass suffering, and we see all around us. We can see what happens. It concentrates immense power in the hands of a few, and can drive nations into conflict over resources to fuel the ever-growing economic machine. The wars, the debt, the inequality, they aren't random bugs in the system. In many ways, they are features of the system as it has evolved. So where do we go from here? The first step is understanding. By tracing this history from barter to fiat currency, we can see that the system we live in is not a law of nature. It was designed by people, and what was designed by people can be re-examined and perhaps even redesigned by people. This isn't about promoting a single solution, but about encouraging